Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to This Week in Renewables, Season 2, Episode 13. Your bite-sized roundup of the renewable stories over the last 7 days, wind, hydropower and solar, anything renewables I discuss. I am your host, Mr. Deji Ogunsola, the voice you can trust. Don't forget to do all the good stuff, like, share and commenting and subscribing. It really does help with the visibility of this podcast. This week, we're going to start off with some hydropower news and some major achievements. I do get some DMs and messages from those in my hydro network saying I seem to leave hydropower to the end and always have very little to discuss. It's only the reason that the market is quiet in hydropower, but this week I thought I would start with some hydropower news and introducing the 2021 Hydro Hall of Fame inductees. Each year, Clarion Energy reviews information on over 100 historic hydro facilities and before choosing that year's particularly inductees. Obviously due to COVID, this was delayed last year. So they've announced it very recently, I believe last week, who will be inducted into, not who will be, I should say, which projects will be inducted into 2021 Hall of Fame. This year's deserving inductees are, drumroll, the 125 megawatt Älvkarleby project, which is owned by Vattenfall in Sweden. The 177 megawatt Ley Dam project, which is owned by Alabama Power in America. The 44 kW Silversmith generation station, which is owned by Silversmith Power and Light, which is in Canada, British Columbia to be precise. And the 36 megawatt Wissota Hydro project, which is owned by Xcel Energy and Wissota, in the Chippewa River in Chippewa County. So congratulations to all companies, workers, employees associated with any of the above projects. Together, this prestigious group demonstrates the long-term, lasting and significant contributions of hydroelectric plants, including clean renewable power, emission-free generation and reliability. So a round of applause for the this year's hydropower inductees for 2021. Moving on to some solar energy news now, and solar developer BNZ has obtained authorization in the Italian region of Lazio to start construction of a 35 megawatt PV plant. The plant, which is located in the province of Viterbo, is expected to be operational in 2023. BNZ estimates that it will create between 300 and 400 direct and indirect jobs by 2024. The project will be BNZ's second plant to be built in Italy, with the other a 45 megawatt development also in Lazio. BNZ Managing Director Lewis Silva recently commented, this announcement represents an important new milestone for BNZ, since the Italian market has great potential in the development of renewable energies, especially for solar PV. And Mr. Silva is very much correct, because I have some more news from the Italian market, and this time coming by way of Danish renewable developer Upton, which has raised over 400 million of debt for a portfolio of 144 solar PV projects in Italy. Natixis, UniCredit and fund manager Generali Global have provided the debt package to Upton subsidiary WT2 Senior, which it turns hold solar plants totaling 116 megawatts across 80 specific purpose vehicles. The debt will also be used to refinance existing loans at the vehicle level, as well as fund revamping work on majority of the plants. So some really interesting news coming by way of the Italian market and solar. And going back to my day job, which you guys know is recruitment, and that very much seems to be a common theme at the moment. In the last 2 weeks, or I should say the last month, I've received approximately 6 vacancies within the solar field of project manager and project development. So this has all been for Italy. So again, it does definitely seem that there's something in the water in Italy, and solar PV is definitely on the trend. Moving back to this week in renewables and some news from the wind energy sector. In 2021, it was recorded that the wind industry posted another record for new commissioned capacity, and this was totaling 99.2 gigawatts, and this is according to research which was carried out by Bloomberg. Just to give you some more news on this particular milestone, the report finds that developers brought online some 99.2 gigawatts of wind turbines globally in 2021. This is edging past the 98.5 commissioned the year before in 2020. While the majority was added on land, which was 83%, additions of new offshore turbines rose to 16.8 gigawatts, a 161 increase compared to 2022. So it's very clear to say that although the onshore wind has been dominating, offshore wind is definitely going to be the big push for this year and moving forward. An incredible 161 increase compared to 2022. In terms of the companies holding the top spots in terms of OEMs, Vestas regained its spot at the top of the rankings, adding 15.2 gigawatts. This is a 3.2 gigawatt lead on its nearest competitor, which was Goldwind, which was in second place with 12 gigawatts. Siemens Gamesa took third spot in the rankings, and General Electric, which was the previous year's leading turbine maker, fell to 5th place as installations dropped 22% in its home market of the USA. So interesting news there. Some more news from the wind sector, this time coming by way of Latvia and Enefit Green, who have signed 2 deals for 2 wind farms in Latvia. Under the agreement, Enefit Green will have the right to use the land owned by Sodra for the development of wind energy. Looking at some more news on this particular story, the chairman, which is Avo Christmas, I believe I've pronounced that correct, said that Latvia needs to increase its production of renewable energy. Environmentally sustainable wind energy is more affordable and supports both climate goals and energy security in Latvia. The long-term right use of the land is the first preparatory step in the construction of the wind farms. Next will be to start communicating with several authorities and local governments, followed by environmental impact assessments. Some more news coming by way of the wind sector, and this time coming by way of OX2, which have been featured predominantly quite a few times. They have snapped up 500 megawatts of wind and solar projects in Greece. So the name of the projects has not been disclosed as of yet, but the portfolio of wind and solar developments in Greece with a combined capacity of 500 megawatts. Working on these projects in partnership with local development partners, and will seek other renewable opportunities to expand the Greece market. Interesting news there. That, my friends, sums up this week in renewables, your one-place stop for all the renewable news over the last 7 days. I've been your host. Don't forget to like, comment and share. You can also find me on LinkedIn, YouTube and other streaming platforms. Keep it green, keep it clean, and have a wonderful week ahead. Take care. Goodbye.